Okay, so I had so much fun making my first resin project. So I love that it's functional, right? I love having art that I can actually use. It doesn't just sit somewhere, right? I'm the worst at doing this art. It's gorgeous, and then it just goes into the basement. So here's what I love about this project. One, it was absolutely affordable. The kit was super easy to follow and understand. I love that aspect, right? I think if it's affordable and I can just kind of zone out with some good music, follow along with it, that's exactly what kind of project I want to do after a long work week. Here's the other pro. The pro is that it's gorgeous. I mean, look how gorgeous this is right here. It is absolutely colorful. It's got pink and yellow, all the colors that I love, matches my office space. And it's going to go into this really crazy little corner I have. Nothing seems to really fit in that corner. I have no idea what I'm going to put in this tray, but I'll make it work. If nothing else, just having it sit in the corner and just look beautiful, it's going to be amazing. I'll figure out something to put in there. It's fantastic. So here's the thing. When I was going through the instructions, I was like, wow, there's actually like a lot here. There was the two different like 100 milliliter, 200 milliliter types of resin, which I didn't even know how to make resin. So that was overwhelming. It was really easy. You just have to stir it together for 2 minutes. But when you open up the kit, some of the products were not in English, but it was kind of self-explanatory once you started to like open things up. There was two sets of apron. Actually, this had three things of aprons, but it had two aprons because you have to do the epoxy and then you got to wait and you got to come back. It had a really nice silicone cup, easy peasy. It had some masks, which I did not use. I just made sure my space was really ventilated. And then it had some gloves, which was nice. So when I started to go through it, first thoughts opening it up is wow, I'm completely overwhelmed. I just want it to be simple. But at the end of the day, the instructions are really easy to follow. And so I really appreciated that. There's nothing worse than trying to just relax and then having to figure something out that's complicated after a really long, hard week. That is just not my MO, right? It's probably not yours either. So, what I loved about it is that it was simple, it was easy to follow, it's colorful. My favorite feature, though, of this is the flowers. They were real, they smelled incredible. So, here I am sitting in my office space and I'm smelling in this rose garden. It was fantastic. And there's extra flowers, so I can use them for another project if I want. Obviously, it would depend on how you set up your design in here. Potentially, you might not have extra flowers. I probably could have used more white space with my design. It was saying that you could lay out the flowers, take a picture, and then like redesign it with the epoxy. So the first time I laid it out, I actually was pretty minimal and I liked it. The second time, I did not follow the instructions. I did not take a picture. I just laid them out randomly because it just felt good to just randomly put flowers in and just let the creativity flow. So I still had extra flowers, even though I used a ton in here, you can see. So that's it. It's affordable, it's easy to use, it was easy to follow. Here's the cons with this project. So first things first, my epoxy did not set. Some pieces are still kind of sticky. Actually, all of it's kind of sticky. So I'm gonna have to get in some more epoxy if I really want to use it. I don't know if that's me. I don't know if that's a design flaw because I don't do resin all the time, right? So, not too sure. If you do resin all the time, drop some comments below on how I can fix this. Otherwise, I'm just going to get some epoxy, put another layer on, and hopefully that will help solve it. The other thing, I didn't press the flowers into the resin, and the flowers started to actually poke up through the second layer of epoxy. So it's not completely smooth, which for me, using it is in the corner and just putting stuff in it, no problem. But if I were trying to give it as a gift, the fact that it's sticky and it's not completely smooth, I could see that kind of being like, oh, here's your DIY gift that's not quite perfect, right? So those were some of the cons that I felt with it. The other cons, like I said, some of the products came and they were not in English, but once you opened it, you knew exactly what it was. So take it as you will. The other con in working through it, I did not realize that resin took forever to set. Like I said, I've done resin like one time before. I did this cheese board. Forgot that you have to set it first time for 5 hours. The second time you set it for 24 hours. So that was nice. Nice to drink a lot of coffee in the interim, right? So if you're looking for a project Make sure that you have the time where it can just sit by itself or you can move it out of the way. I set this up right in the middle of my art space, and then I had my little what do you call it, the mat laid out. I had all the utensils everywhere, and at the end of the day I was like, well, crap, I don't want to have to move all this to do art. So I took my diamond painting somewhere else. So just heads up, you might need to move it or just make sure you have the space. So for someone like me, that's a con. Maybe for you it's not. Maybe you have a dedicated art space, which I technically do, but this one took a long time. So that was kind of the other con, is those of you who are new to resin, heads up, it's probably common sense. Wasn't so common for me doing it, but that was kind of the thing I was disappointed with. I'm like, oh, I just wanted to use it right away and have it be like a one and done project. Not so much for this. So here's the takeaways from this. One, I love epoxy now. I love resin. I love playing with it. This is super fun. I'm definitely debating if I want to get like the big kits where they have like a ton of just like all the materials and all the supplies and shapes, because it is fun. I will say it can be a little bit addicting. So heads up if you start doing this, because it's just so fun. What started all of this, and this is probably what I should have led with, I went to a farmer's market. I found a little jewelry container. It was just a wooden like container, but on the inside they had done this. They had gorgeous flowers on the bottom. They had the, resin on top. And now I just put my rings in it. It's like a beautiful little jewelry container. And I thought, I love this. It's functional. And that's what encouraged me to get this container right here. A little bit bigger than the jewelry, but it wasn't that expensive. And if the resin had set, then I probably could give it as a gift. But I love it so much. It's so pretty, and it's going to go great in this really ugly little corner that needs a little more love in my office space. So, key takeaways: if you're looking for a really fun hobby, I would recommend trying it. I definitely would say heads up on the resin not fully setting, but it was really fun. It was really easy. It was totally relaxing. And the smell of the flowers, like I think that was probably my favorite part of this whole hobby. So check it out. Let me know how you like it. Hopefully yours will set a little bit better than mine. Hopefully mine was just kind of one of the defunct ones, or maybe I did something wrong. Who knows? At this point, I'm just going to get some more resin, fix it, call it a day. This was a fun hobby. I definitely would recommend. There's a lot of other kits and ideas. This one, I just liked that it was functional, right? I mean, it's the Swedish roots in me. When you have something that can actually be beautiful and function, I'm all about that. So if you have any other ideas or any other links on some other DIY projects that I could do for my space, let me know. But this was my corporate unwind, de-stress, relaxing hobby from the crazy work week. Let me know if you try it, and I hope you have as much fun as I do putting it together.